That right there might be the best intro I've ever had. This this app is a gold mine of terrible openings. Anyways, it is cut update number 5. And you may be thinking to yourself, why is it taking a month to get a video? Why has this become a monthly thing? And I'll tell you, it's because I'm extremely lazy, and when I have a bunch of days off school, apparently all my willpower dissolves. So, I'm gonna be honest, there's like no excuses. Um, Other than it's gonna become a weekly thing. I'm locked back in. I'm locked back in. This is cut update number 5. I weigh 198. That is 10 pounds down from the original update I first gave, where I said it was at 208, I think, or was it 209? I don't remember. Anyways, so it's been like 20-ish pounds or whatever total. 10 pounds down since the original video. So this is the 5th one. And I said once I hit the 190s, I would make the Oppenheimer. The video, I don't know, I said do like my favorite video games of all time. Right? And like I just said, I'm extremely lazy. So I'm not going to make like an hour-long video going through all my favorite games, when I can make one video for each of my favorite games. That way I can like extend it as much content as possible with as least amount of effort as possible. So that's what I'm doing. And ground rules for this series, if you'd like to call it. Um, all the games on the list, they're not in order. Like this video is not like the number 5 spot, nor is it like the number 1 spot. I'm just going through like it is on my list of the greatest games ever made. And I'm also doing the whole series because it'd be extremely repetitive to see, oh yeah, I have Metal Gear Solid 3, Metal Gear Solid 2, and Metal Gear Solid 1, like back to back to back, when I could just say, yeah, all 3 of them are my favorites. Which is a spoiler for this video, because definitely Metal Gear Solid is one of the greatest series ever made, in my opinion. And that's what this video is about. I am going to be honest, though. I was thinking about like doing a list for gameplay only and for story only. Like, I was thinking about that, and I was like, I'm not doing that. That's also way too much work. That would be like 2 different series within a series, and I'm not doing any of that. I'm not. So, I'll just say this game, if I was to put it in one of those lists, I would say it's one of the greatest because of the story, not because of the gameplay. The gameplay is heavily, heavily outdated. Maybe for the time it was cool and unique. Nowadays it's just like janky. It's just not that good. The controls aren't that good. Especially since you don't get a crouch walk until Peace Walker. No, I think it was in 4. The 4th entry, technically 6th entry to the game series, you get a crouch walk. So you'll see me throughout this whole game, probably through the whole footage, just pressing A to like crouch, and then forgetting that there's no crouch walk, and then crawling. So if you see that, just understand that is like that might be the reason why. I'm not saying it's like one of the greatest to play. It just has a great story. That and the controls. Like modern video games, you press LT on a controller to aim, RT to shoot. Back in the day, back in this game, you would press LB to look in, and then press X to shoot. So you would unironically have to like play claw. It almost feels like, and it's not very fun. So it took around like, yeah, MGS5 to get modernized controls, and that I would say that MGS5 is honestly a game where I would say, yeah, it actually is probably one of the greatest of all time because of gameplay. Because MGS5's story is heavily, heavily flawed. It's not very good at all. It has a cool twist, but definitely doesn't have a good story. I'm taking way too long to get to the point, so let me just start in order. Metal Gear 1 and 2. Old, outdated, not that very good of a story, but they're important for the rest of the series. Metal Gear Solid 1 is the first PS1 game, so they could actually do it in 3D. And this is where I would say the series gets very good. The story in this game is extremely smart. It's just so smart. If I had to summarize the games like very quickly and accurately, I would say that MGS1 basically is a modern day retelling of like, okay, not modern day retelling, it's a modern day interpretation of like the nature versus nurture debate. And it has such like a human take. I'm not trying to sound pretentious. Like it has a very human take on it. It's very nice. It has such a good ending, a good twist. Everything about it is just so like good. MGS2 was like it's trying to like warn people of AI and like mass information control. It's doing so much and it all works so well. And it's genuinely a lot of people call the game prophetic. I won't say it's prophetic. I'll just say Kojima predicted stuff. I won't say he was a prophet because that's kind of cringe, I'm going to be honest. I don't know why people say that. MGS2 is pretty smart. I'll just say that. It's pretty smart. MGS3 is like an old age spy thriller. I'm saying old age, but it's set in the Cold War. It's not that old. And I would say that one's like, I would say it's like the dangers of being patriotic, like the risks, what the consequences of patriotism, and like what it means to be a soldier for a country. The MGS series always like gets called anti-war, and I would say it kind of is, but it really becomes anti-war in like 3, Peace Walker, and 5. Those are actual like anti-war tales. Rising Revengeance, maybe, if you actually like listen to the story and ignore the gameplay of what's going on. I've never understood why they made that game. The original pitch was like much better than the actual like thing we got. Raiden invading Area 51, that would be so much cooler than what we actually got. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of that game. Gameplay is fun, the story isn't that good. Yeah, and like I was saying, the Metal Gear Solid series gets called anti-war, and it's more like pro-life. Not in a like a political debate, but like the first game directly comments on like killing and murder and stuff. And Snake genuinely has to deal with like what it means to kill people. And then in the second game, he stops using weapons. He uses like canonically he uses like sleep weapons, like a sleep pistol, a sleep dart, like sniper. And I just think it's so like smart. I know I'm saying smart a lot. I'm not trying to sound pretentious. I'm genuinely just trying to say these games are pretty good and well written, well thought out. At least until like the fourth entry, then it goes down the drain. But oh yeah, I'm also gonna talk about Death Stranding in this video too, and that's because of many things. It's literally a walking simulator. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you. It has insane gameplay as well. Although I do think it plays better than Metal Gear Solid, I guess. At least the earlier games. I did find myself quite addicted to the gameplay loop of just delivering packages in like not post-apocalyptic, but you know what I mean. It's pretty smart as well. Smart. I'm saying I'm really trying not to sound pretentious or anything. There's only so many ways I can say I think the story is so well written you should play it. I think most of Kojima's games are pretty good, except for Metal Gear Solid 4, Metal Gear Solid 5. Those games are off mark. MGS 1, 2, and 3 are trying to tell like their own separate stories that like slightly interconnect. MGS 4 has to like wrap all the games up, and it just does such a terrible way of doing it. There's like a twist every 5 minutes. It's so bad. Do I like the story of it? I can say yeah. I can say it's okay if you like ignore all the plot holes, you ignore everything. I could say, yeah, it's fun. It's a fun story in MGS4. It's not a good story, it's fun. Like I'm not going to a Marvel movie looking for depth. Yeah, terrible comparison, but you get my point. But back to Death Stranding. Death Stranding is extremely fun. The gameplay loop, you either love it or you absolutely despise it, and you make like you post on every single Reddit post about the game. You say, "Oh my god, it has a terrible gameplay loop, literally a walking simulator. Kojima does not know what he's doing." You can say all that, or you could say it's like extremely smart and it's an amazing game. I'm never saying smart again after this video. I'm done saying that word. It's intelligent. Death Stranding is intelligent, and I can't wait to play the second game when Kojima makes a director's cut for Xbox. Um. Anyways, I don't know what else I can add. Um, MGS 1, 2, and 3. Great games. They definitely deserve to be on this list. Um, Death Stranding deserves to be on this list. I know it's not Metal Gear Solid, but once again, it's made by Kojima. He's an amazing game director. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna make another video just for Death Stranding. I'll probably never touch it again, unless some urge comes over me and I start craving it like a pregnant woman. Yeah, like I said, the cut updates are gonna continue weekly. I think I'm done with that whole monthly pace. That's kind of absurd. That's kind of terrible. I don't know what I was thinking doing that. Um, yeah, I'm locked in. Locked in. It was like Christmas break, you would like go into it strong and then you'd like come out and then you have another 2 weeks off of school and then you stop caring and then you get used to like not eating at the correct calories and then you mess around for like another week and then you're like, yeah, I'm gonna get back on it. And then you don't get back on it. I'm lazy. A lot of words to say I'm lazy. This whole video, you could just say, is one of the laziest things I've ever made. And I don't really care because I don't think you have to put an insane amount of time and effort into the YouTube videos. I'm like the moist critical of cutting. Yeah, there will be a new video next week.